Yeah. Okay, you guys, yeah. King of Lightning here today, as always, to do Kill la Kill episode 21 review. That is 2-1. The link to the episode is going to be in the description box down below on Crunchyroll.com. This week's episode. Yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. I can't deny that. We had the whole thing going on here with... Well, first of all, the animation could have been better. I can't deny that. There were some parts where I was like, because I don't know. It's like, for me, like the fighting, like for example, when it came to Satsuki versus Nui Harime, my personal opinion, that could have been better animated. And in the middle of their fight between like Ryūko and Satsuki, before Senketsu was cut off her, there was like this whole like pixel panel thing going on here, where like we would see like Satsuki would say something, and then we have Ryūko, she would say something, then there'd be like a smaller panel of Satsuki, she would say something in, you know, like retaliation, then Ryūko say something in retaliation. So that scene also I thought was meh in the animation. Though it was a pretty, you know, overall nice animated scene when it came to the Elite Four actually packing Ryūko. Like, it was a whole team thing going on there, and that was very nice. So again, like the animation, ups and downs everywhere, and I can't really say that it was overall good. I can't. But I did like most of the scenes that are portrayed when it came to animation. Pacing. Well, we did cover a lot. Actually, they backtrack in the episode. They backtrack before she gets over to the Rising Sun. And then this whole thing going on here where she actually has, like, before she loses her damn mind. And then we have, well, actually, no. It's after she goes AWOL. And pretty much, it's like we see her finally, like, taking Junketsu. She transforms. And then she, like, makes out with Nui. And then she bails, because it's a whole good luck kiss thing. And then we have Ragyo and the others make prep. And then after that, it's the usual, like, fast pacing. We cover, like, a shit ton. And pretty much, Ryūko, it's now over. It's over with her, and she's pretty much the over-the-top, massive amounts of blood. Like, there was literally a wave of, like, after she rips off Junketsu, and then, like, you see her standing there stark naked, there's a literal wave of blood behind her, like, and I'm like, wait, hold on. Where did this wave of blood come from? I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, hold on. That's weird. What was also weird was the fact that we have Senketsu going into the inner realm of Ryūko via a wound, but so does Mako. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, hold on, pause. Stop, wait. God damn it. Put the controller down, wait, hold on. What just happened? Why is she in there? But she's in there. She was in there, and it was hilarious. They're in the inner realm of Ryūko, and they're trying to convince her to turn good. To go back to, you know, the regular side, the side of righteousness. Well, first of all, I gotta say that the OST for the Inner Realm thing is fucking beautiful. That is so true. As true as the sky blue and the grass green. That was a beautiful OST. No doubt about it. I love that thing. It almost makes you want to cry, alright? And I'm a grown man, and I almost want to just break down in tears, like, fuck. But it's beautiful. And we actually have Senketsu, like, take a blow from Mako, because Mako, she actually... Has Mako ever been damaged once in the entire... No, I'm pretty sure that she has. I just can't recall. But he takes a blow for her, pretty much. And Like, all of the blood that he had inside of him just spews everywhere. And we have the wedding dress of Ryūko get soaked in blood. Her eyes get soaked in blood, and apparently that was the trigger to actually, no pun intended, since, triggers were the ones who made the show. But still, that was the trigger to where in which she snaps out of this imaginary world, and she gets back to reality. So, and it was ironic, too, because this entire time we have Nui Harime preaching this reality about how, like, you gotta show them the reality of the matter. That Junketsu is yours. You have fully assimilated, and you're on our side. But in actuality, she was fooling herself, because we have Satsuki even say that you never gave the other half of the blade to Ryūko, which means that you never fully trust. And Satsuki, very perceptive, because the full-on scissor blade that Soroi made, that would definitely be like the ultimate weapon. And there is still significant hope, especially considering the fact that Ryūko has just broken out of Junketsu, and I believe that Junketsu is actually like destroyed. Either that, or they're gonna like pick up the pieces. Like, I don't know, maybe like Nui Harime is gonna escape and somehow like pick up the pieces of Junketsu. I have no idea, but that means that Ryūko is back in action on the good team side. B, there is the scissor blade, where in which if it's reattached, both the purple and the red side, you're gonna have the ultimate weapon against cutting the light fibers. And C, you have the other Kamui, where in which we had, because Nui Harime, she was actually, well, first of all, we do see her do something. Like, before she leaves, she finishes some kind of project. I do know what it is. It's the beacon. They're gonna summon other light fibers. Now, again, the way it seems now, it seems as if like the only light fibers involved are already there. Like the original main light fiber, which is like doing some kind of like operation now. I forgot what it's called, like the something sphere something. I forgot what it's called, but sphere's in there. And basically we have Ragyo riding the giant light fiber ball to go over to the location where it quote unquote all started. But this whole like laser, I think what Nui Harime just finished was the beacon. The beacon to communicate with the other light fibers in the universe, in the galaxy, in the solar system, whatever. I don't know. It's either a solar system, or it's a galaxy, or it's a universe. It could be either or. Again, I'm going to go more with the universe thing, but, I mean, from a scientific standpoint, if they are that advanced, then I don't see at least galaxy. At least. There's no doubt about it. Now, and plus they also emulate yarn, so that'd be a good indication of, well, no, let me not go any further with that. Let's continue. And when it came to the whole thing, so, in the last episode review I did last week, I told you guys that I highly doubt that Senketsu would be able to actually fuse fully, either that or at all, with Satsuki. Now, granted, she did manage to hold synchronization, but she could not fully synchronize with Senketsu, which makes perfect sense. Again, Senketsu comprises of the DNA of Ryūko's central nervous system, which is the exact reason why Ryūko and Senketsu can communicate telepathically. And when it comes to Satsuki, she herself, at a young age, was very resilient towards the effects of the light fibers when she was a baby, in fact. And that's something that other people have to actually grow and develop, mainly teenagers. They have to grow and develop this resistance towards the light fibers. So there were a lot of signs hinting that Satsuki was either going to A, not be able to fully utilize the power of Senketsu, or B, not be able to utilize Senketsu at all. And it wound up being A, where in which she couldn't actually use the full power. And that's why she winds up getting B, even though she had this whole elaborate plan going on there with like the Elite Four. And again, that to me was one of the best animated scenes, especially when it came to Sanagayama, where in which he actually goes toe-to-toe with Ryūko. With just his scissor, the knives that Sungu had before, but of course now he's getting shitted on because he's in the damn DTR, and that thing sucks. I mean, that's pretty much it, with the exception of like a few small details here and there, where we see, for example, the butler and the individuals that were following Ryūko, who are helping assimilate Ryūko's domination across the planet. They actually get consumed by the covers. I guess a final gift. I mean, I wouldn't want that as a gift any day of the dead. Hell no. That is a terrible gift. To be consumed by a piece of clothing. No. Hell no. But that's what they wanted, and that's what they got. And also, there's this whole thing where after Ryūko spits out, because again, Satsuki opens like the breastplate area of Junketsu, where in which Ryūko was, you know, like basically she opens the breastplate, and she creates a wound, where in which Sanketsu and Mako somehow get absorbed within that wound. And when Ryūko spits them out, there's like this whole like Dragon Ball Z style power up going on. And then there was something that we saw before. Do you remember when Ryūko first went AWOL, when she lost control of her own powers, and she was fighting against Nui Harime, and after that whole incident, like there was like this giant wave of like energy, the same like an actual like liquid tidal wave of energy. Well, yeah, the same thing occurred in this episode, where in which once they get spit out, the same thing happens. So it's kind of like this wave of like glittering energy every time something happens like really significant. That whole tidal wave of energy like spews out of her body. And then, so it's like, it's kind of like cleansing. There we go. Yeah, why not? It's cleansing away all of the negativity that was in her body, or that was on her body, or that stemmed from her body, and then now she's back to normal. So kind of like a cycling process. I mean, I guess in a way, almost like a, because this is clothing here. So I guess in a way, almost like a dishwasher, a washing machine, where in which the clothes, or her, is being cleaned when this twinkling, glittering tidal of energy spews out of her body. She is removing all of the ailments in her body, or on her body. Whatever, you guys get my point. Again, something like a washing machine, pretty much, because it's like a cycle. So let's move on from that. I'm done, because there's nothing more to say, really. So, the episode overall, okay? So, first of all, again, the animation I already explained, it could have been better overall in some parts, but overall, it's not bad. When it comes to the pacing, as usual, fast-paced. They even did backtrack for a little bit. And we do see Nui Harime get caught off guard. And what happens pretty much is that, like, that was a nice animated scene, too. So, there were some scenes that were actually really poorly animated, and other scenes were actually, like, damn good. Where we have Ryūko, she throws the scissor blade at Nui Harime's back. It goes right through her back, out of the chest. And then the shockwave sends her flying. Like there was a delay. And then the shockwave sends her flying right into the side of the giant ship. And then the ship gets indented because of the actual force. So that was beautiful. And it's looking to me right now that because Nui Harime is pinned down, I mean, now granted, again, she is made out of light fibers, so she'll be alive. But because she's pinned down, I think that they're going to take this opportunity to take the purple scissor blade from her, and Ryuko's going to get it. So this may be a double whammy where they actually gain two quintessential things when it comes to beating Ryūko, and of course Horomaru and Nui Harime, and the light fibers in general. Where in which Ryūko herself will return to Senketsu, which is actually very important, and, of course, the original scissor blade. And so they did make progress in that sense, or they could make progress in that sense, because it hasn't happened yet, but there's a possibility that it can happen. And overall, I mean, it was pretty much like the same stuff when it came to the characters, like what they're doing, like their roles, the plans. We have the Elite Four backing up Satsuki as always. We have Mako doing her thing when it comes to motivating and influencing Ryūko, because apparently, again, it was told from beforehand that they were on the same wavelength. There was a lot of progress when it came to Ryūko and how Ryūko's like, she's in air. She's mid-flight. Like, she's going somewhere, doing something right now to go to the quote-unquote location where it all started. So maybe where the life fiber itself touched down before, I have no idea. But overall, the episode rating, I'm going to give it a good. It was a good episode. So I'm done King Lightning. Be sure, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. And, by the way, the whole Satsuki and the whole Shippu and, you know, like how she's able to transform, even though she couldn't actually utilize the full power of Senketsu for obvious reasons, she was still impressive enough to actually do something like that, despite the fact that she couldn't actually master a Kamui at this point in time. Now, again, the only reason why I say that the Kamui that Nui Harime is making may be her actual full-on Kamui, aside from Junketsu, is because of the fact that if you're going to have a very, very powerful Kamui, it may just override Satsuki's innate ability to resist life fibers. So there may be some kind of fusion and then communication between those two. Again, I'm not too sure, but we'll see how it goes. So again, the rating's going to be good. King Lightning. For sure, of course, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. Peace. Have a nice day.